Well, these people in science fiction and fantasy are completely insufferable every single time. They've been going at Orson Scott Card, one of the most legendary science fiction writers, for about 20 years, and he pretty much never says anything about it. I mean, this man is a complete stalwart professional. He never complains, doesn't really do anything. He just focuses on writing, as he always has. He is definitely an inspiration to a lot of us out there. Not only just because of his great writing, but because of his attitudes, because of his great moral stances, which he is a very moral man, and because of the fact that he's so focused on writing and teaching and helping the next generation. This is somebody like that. He should be upheld as like the grand master of science fiction that he is. And so when you see this type of thing, and they get very, very mad about him in the industry, you got to remember at this point, if you have not paid attention to the stuff that's happening in the last few years, the publishing industry has become this like witch hunt of like find the conservative and Christian and cancel them, destroy them, make sure they are nowhere near us. All the while they're preaching diversity and inclusivity. Yeah, it's anything but. It is lack of diversity and exclusivity that they want. I went to a bookstore yesterday. I'm going to give it an aside. I tried to walk around and just find anything. There was not a single book out there that was like geared towards men whatsoever. And this even includes in nonfiction at this point. They're all like women-oriented, like emotional business solutions. It's very weird. And then it's all these like little pastel covers with strange like CalArts looks on the covers, where it's like a black woman and another black woman, and this one's about a white woman who, and I saw one. It was like she has one day a year where she can do whatever she wants and cheat as much as she can. It's her day of freedom, and it's like, holy crap! This is degeneracy, and it's terrible. And there's no good books in the bookstore at this point. Very, very sad to look at. But that's what they wanted. They wanted this monolith of just crap out there, and they've of course just hidden the great works of people like Orson Scott Card in the process. Now, he's had a couple of instances in the last couple of years. I'll go over the whole situation, and let's get into this. That's my intro for now. Whew. So please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things science fiction. This is the sci-fi news, the real sci-fi news you won't get anywhere else. I'm a science fiction writer myself, and of course, I am blacklisted from mainstream publishing because they don't want to be able to compete with some great stuff out there, obviously. And so this is my Arroz War, and of course, it's done very, very well on Amazon thanks to readers like you. It's a 3-book trilogy, and you can get it today and start your reading in science fiction journey. This is a space opera about a spy who embeds himself on an alien starship, bringing back information to Earth in the middle of a just brutal war. And he has to make some very hard personal choices as it goes along. It gets amazing and builds up towards the end of this. I'm going to be writing a space exploration series that dovetails out of this very shortly. And so please check this out. It's in the description below. Thank you guys for reading. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. All right. So every time Orson Scott Card does anything, the rabid leftist cancel mob shows up to try to cause problems for him. The Utah conference now, Life, the Universe, and Everything, announced that Card will be a guest, and immediately activists have piled on their Facebook page to try to get him removed from the event. Very, very sad. Now, this happens after last year. Card does not make a lot of these public appearances like this. I'm actually probably going to actually go out to this event in Utah, assuming they don't ban me, just because he's going to be there. Because this is like go see one of the greats. It's amazing stuff. But he was at DragonCon last year. He did a last-minute signing that was not announced or anything like that, and lines were around the block for him. Now, a lot of the authors, and I have an insider there from the mainstream science fiction establishment, also had tables there. They were not drawing lines nearly as long as Orson Scott Card, and they actually, according to my sources, voiced they were bitter about it. I'm not going to name names because doesn't need to be done. But yes, it was very ironic just how angry these people were. Because he was getting lines and they weren't, because he's supposed to be canceled. Aren't people supposed to know that he's a bad person? That's exactly how these people feel all the time. They literally hate Christians. These are, as much as they call people bigots, these are bigots. And that's exactly what it is. And so, of course, we know Orson Scott Card is the writer of Ender's Game. I promote Treason as well because I like that book quite a bit. But he actually did a stint in comics for a while, and this was not his first cancellation. When he got canceled, it was when he was supposed to be making a Superman book. The artist actually dropped off the book, And access media like Wired branded him a homophobe because Orson Scott Card said that a California law that passed, by the way, overwhelming majority in California, saying that gay marriage should not be allowed was a good thing. And that was it. He wrote an op-ed on that and said, this is where our country needs to draw the line. We need to not put this stuff. And, he was right. I mean, 20 years later, we're looking at just like the effects and just the craziness of our culture, how far it's fallen, just our falling birth rates, just collapse in society completely. And, of course, the wokeness that has pervaded our society over the last decade or so. It's been a disaster. It all started right there because the people voted and the government ignored it and decided to change things by fiat, which is exactly what happened in our country. It was a coup done by a judicial bench in the Obama era. So, ironically, diversity and inclusivity crowd is trying to take someone's livelihood away and get him shunned for his religious beliefs. Many more cases would come in future years, but Card always stood alone at this point. He's been pretty quiet over the last several years, like I said, because again, this type of thing, he just doesn't get anything out there other than Ender's Game stuff, which they can't cancel because it's too big, right? And so they announced that they were going to be bringing him out. LTUE 44, Life, the Universe, and Everything. We'll have amazing spotlight guests announcing Orson Scott Card, author of Ender's Game and its series. His recent young adult Pathfinder and Myth or Mages sidestep series are taking readers in new directions. Visit his website for more about writing, and that was it. It was just a standard thing. This is a guy who everybody likes. Everybody loves his book. But no, they couldn't leave it alone. So a very unfortunate choice. Really? There's a man pretending to be a woman right here. Right, says another. Does this mean he stopped being a butthead? This is the absolute, like this in one statement, just how immature these people are. Because these are all adults, right? And the butthead, it's like you sound like you're 12. And that's what it is. These are overgrown children who can't stand that there's somebody else with different opinions around them. And, of course, that the dude pretending to be a woman comments as well on that, of course, trying to cancel this whole deal. Oof, another one says, these are not intelligent people. You can tell they don't even have thoughts for themselves. They're just saying oof. Gosh, this just is painful. So they can't even articulate things. They just know they hate. They just know they're angry. And these are the type of people that need to be banned and shunned from all this stuff. But Life, the Universe, and Everything has had problems in recent years pushing some of this agenda. A lot of these conventions and fandom have. As we know, the World Science Fiction Con has gone way over the top. They actually have a full diversity, equity, and inclusion track at WorldCon, which is just people whining about race, gender, etc. constantly. Sounds like a lot of fun. But that's why WorldCon was fairly empty this year, and a lot of normal people have tuned out of that event, and it's just turned into a complete disaster. This one's not gone that far yet, but it is on that direction and on that track. It is not one that is just what it used to be back in the day. Now, one of the fans actually called this out, said, I'm so livid. And, before I get to that, there was the chairs of this said, please keep all comments civil. If you have concerns you'd like to discuss, I'm happy to do so. Message us directly right here. And this is pretty interesting because it implies they deleted comments that were not civil at this point, which I did not see, but based on the reaction we're about to get from a fan, I think there was a lot more than what this is at this point. And so interesting that they actually tag their names on this. It's like, please give us a reason to cancel this person. And I'm going to be following this because if they give in and if they give in to these people on this stuff, we need to raise hell about this convention, just what they're doing at this point. And we will do so because it's not right to hurt somebody of this stature who's a wonderful person because of these just angry weirdos out there. And so this fan says, I'm livid. The Life, the Universe, and Everything, the Symposium of Science Fiction and Fantasy, just posted Orson Scott Card coming as a guest speaker. It was immediately swarmed by bigoted LGBTQIA LMNOP minus plus and more, and the plus is for pedophile, crowd who doesn't tolerate anyone speaking, anyone who doesn't believe anything in their little Gestapo minds. Now, either the post has been removed or I've been blocked. When I attended this year's conference, something felt off, like a battlefield between skirmishes. Used to be accepting of everyone regardless of their beliefs, but now political witch hunts have nothing to do with the craft of writing or publishing. I refuse to attend WorldCon anymore because of my first and last experience was so disturbing that I'd rather never be published than go through that again. I hope LTUE is not giving in to bigot venom. Author Larry Correia, another bestseller, actually left a comment on this saying, I dropped out a few years ago because I got sick of the tiresome and nonstop crap. Now, interesting, Brandon Sanderson is very, very much a big proponent of this event since it is in Utah. And Brandon Sanderson is one of those who's been pushing hard the LGBTQ agenda lately and actually, trying to, of course, rile up that cancel mob and try to get some golf claps from them. Didn't work very well. He didn't get a Hugo Award for Best Series, which he was trying for this year. But no matter what he puts in there, he's still a white male, and they still don't like to do that over there. But this is what's happening right now, and like I said, I'm watching this and monitoring this situation, calling it out right now, calling on this organization to not cancel Orson Scott Card. You can be better than this. You guys can actually do something right for once and not give in to the mob. And on this, I have actually signed up for panels and, of course, am making plans to go out there and actually go to this convention to cover this for you guys and on behalf of Fandom Pulse. We'll see how they react to that as well. But again, this is the adults in the room talking right here. You can't give into this stuff anymore. It's 2025. We need to bring science fiction and fantasy back to where it's for everyone, not just for a small vocal minority who want to cause problems for a great man like this. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Do check out the Stars Entwined. It's in the description below. Really thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate it. We'll be back soon.